Hello everyone, Blitz here. Today I'm reviewing two Funko Pops, Twice 1093 Hot Topic exclusive, Normal and Chase. I'm reviewing the two of these because they're the same, but with a big difference. Please don't leave any song requests, AMVs in the comments for these types of videos. I'm going to have to say this every video again. Please don't leave any song requests, AMVs on these videos. If you do, I will remove them. Just talk about the pop and character instead. My reviews will go into spoiler territory, so watch at your own risk. If this is your first time watching, I'll go over everything with the pops, the character story, powers, appearance, personality, fun facts, and give my thoughts and opinions on the character. And I have a point system on how much they pop out, color scheme, character design, pop mold, glows, and how much I like the character. A point system that's 1 to 25/30 if there's a glow version, and I'll tell you where to buy the Funko Pop. I'm going to say this every review. Trice's real name is Gene Bubagayara. Not much of his childhood is known. I'm going to go over his entire story in the series, so I'll have a timestamp on screen if you want to skip it. That's okay. His worst moment of his life when he was 16. His parents died in a villain attack when he was in middle school. He wasn't close with with his other relatives. He was basically alone. He mostly talked to himself, his clones exactly. He get by on scraps. He had a job but got into an accident. He hit someone with his motorcycle. Gene was in the right. It started his criminal record. The guy pressed charges. He got sucker punched by his own coworker, saying the guy he hit was someone important who was going to work with them, the company, but they reconsidered working with him. Sorry. He kept falling in life. Born with bad luck, others said you may stumble, but you get back up. That advice didn't stick with him. With nothing better to do with his life, he turned to the life of crime. Using his powers to clone himself, he committed robberies. His robberies and crime spree got him to be on Japan's most wanted. His choices led him down the wrong path. All he wanted was an easy life. He made his clones do everything. One day, his clones retaliated, attacked him, and sliced his forehead, and tied him up. They were arguing on saying they were the real Gene, but to be the one in control. For 9 days, Gene watched his clones attack, beat up, and mutilated themselves. In the end, they killed each other. They all disappeared, and the incident gave him massive PTSD, making him wonder if he's the real Gene. Later on, he met Garen, told him about people like him. He introduced Twice to the League of Villains, where he was present and aided in the training camp attack, getting Bakugo to join the League. After All Might's defeat, he and the rest of the League was tasked to get new members for the League, and he ran into Overhaul, the young heir to Japan's underground organizations called the Shiai Hasakai. Gene brought him to the gang, especially to Shigaraki. They had a disagreement and both sides lost a member to their team. The League lost Magni. Gene blamed himself for what the Gene blamed himself for the loss of his teammate and the damage that was caused. He wanted to make up for his mistakes into Shigaraki. He wanted to get revenge on Overhaul. Get revenge for Magni. Gene and Toga worked for Overhaul undercover for Shigaraki. They had to get their secret weapon, but the heroes managed to secure it first. Sometime later, Trice aided Shigaraki to seize Gigantomachia to get him on their side. Trice and his allies had a run-in with Destro and the Liberation Army. When he heard that they had Garen, he had to rescue him. They made their way to Dhaka City, where they were surprise attacked by the Liberation Army. Every member was separated. Trice fought robot clones of himself that were controlled by a villain named Skeptic. They wanted Trice because he could be a useful ally in their cause. They were hurting him, breaking his arms, and made him realize that he isn't disappearing. And in a delusional state, and he looked at Toga, almost about to be killed by Skeptic, and Gene overcame his mental health issues and activated his powers, and created clones of himself to save Toga and turn the tide of the battle. The real Trice stayed behind to save Toga's life by giving her a blood transfusion with a clone of herself. Another Trice and a ton of clones raced to aid his allies in getting Shigaraki to the middle of the city to save Garen and to defeat Destro, their boss. That they are at the top of a tower. A clone of Trice made his way to the top of. Sorry, a clone of Trice made his way to the top to confront Destro. Made clones of his friends to fight him. Shigaraki A Shigaraki clone was fighting him and Trice rescued Giran. The clone Shigaraki eyes locked in on the real Shigaraki, then destroyed the tower, clambering to the ground. Destro to survive. I am so sorry. Destro survived. Trice managed to soften the blow to save Giran and the clones. Later, after the battle, Shigaraki was crowned Liberation Leader and made Trice one of his 9 lieutenants. Trice dedicated his life to Shigaraki, his friends, and the League. Trice learned under Hawk's number 2 hero, who later betrayed them to stop Jean from joining the battle against the heroes, and the Liberation Army from turning the tide into their favor. Pinned to the ground, Jean blamed himself for everything that happened in his life, hurting everyone, making people's lives worse, and every mistake he made. Dobby intervened at the last second, joining the fight. Trice getting away, still getting attacked by Hawks, multitasking, fighting Dobby and destroying any clones of Trice to prevent him from joining the big fight. He managed to make a clone to rescue Toga and Mr. Compress from being captured by the heroes. Trice clone, struggling to be stable, apologizes to Toga for everything and for trusting Hawks, and said he didn't make it. In his final moments, he said he was lucky to make friends in the League, happy he was part of the League, and his clone collapsed in Toga's arms, she being grateful for being saved, and the clone was gone. And the camera pans up to Trice's real body, dead on the ground, and this is where Trice's story ends. Trice's personality. Gene suffers from multiple personality disorder. He talks to himself. He says one thing in one voice and says the opposite in another voice. For example, if he touches ice, he will say it's hot, and for fire, he will say it's cold. He wears a mask to help conceal him from being. He wears a mask to help conceal him from breaking apart. After the incident with his clones, he is unable to comprehend if he's the real Gene or a fake. He deeply cares for his friends and very loyal to them, and wants to help them to achieve their goals. He has a close bond to his ally Himiko Toga because she is the one that is really nice to him. He's also grateful to Shigaraki for believing in him and wants to help him achieve his goals. Gene believes that everything is his fault when something ever bad happens to League. He believes that he was born with bad luck and he is easily to trick and manipulate. He felt betrayed by Hawks and Overhaul, 2 people who lied to him. Gene's appearance. He has 2 different styles within the series. He mostly always is in his villain suit. This suit is all in black and gray. Top half of the mask is gray with lines running all over the suit. That's supposed to resemble a T and a W, and has gray boots with red and green wristbands to carry measuring tapes. His normal civilian outfit, he wears a blue collar shirt and a white tank top with standard pants and shoes. He has blonde hair, gray-blue eyes, no eyebrows, and patches of hair all over his mouth and at the bottom of his chin. His notable feature is a scar on his forehead, between his eyes, that came from a past incident with his clones that I already explained. His first anime debut is Season 3, Episode 43, Drive It Home Iron Fist. Gene's abilities. His quirk is called Double. He is able to create duplicates of anything living and non-living. He needs the exact measurements and characteristics of the person and objects to duplicate. When he clones another person, it's able to replicate their powers. Clones he creates are less durable and easy to destroy. When destroyed, they don't disappear but turn into mud. Trice is unable to control their clones because they have their own personality and is almost identical to the original. Trice refuses to duplicate himself due to his traumatic past, but he overcame his trauma in the My Villain Academia arc. Gene is only able to make 2 copies of himself, but he found a way around this problem, with his clones making clones of themselves. But the clones is less durable to the first clone, and the second clone is even less durable to the first clone. And this is repeated when they keep cloning themselves. Gene is able to clone objects. For example, he tries to duplicate a erasing quirk drug, but it doesn't have the same properties to be used to erase a quirk. Here's a much dumber explanation. If Trice makes a duplication of a wooden chair, and I try to sit on it, it turns to mud, and I'll fall through the floor. It's because it's not a real wooden chair. Here's an even much dumber explanation. If you still don't understand it, if he duplicates a cake and I take a bite of it, it would taste like mud, because it's not a real cake. Trice's ultimate move is called Sad Man's Parade. It's where he creates clones of himself, and his clones makes clones of themselves. This repeats itself over and over, but at a but, but at a fast, alarming rate. His equipment: he carries a knife on him to attack people. He used it because he didn't want to clone himself, and has a measuring tape to get the exact measurements and to clone people and objects. Hesitation is my strong suit, and I don't feel like re-recording this segment right here. Fun facts about Gene. Trice's original design didn't change that much to the final design. The 4 eyes and the mask, 2 eyes. I'm going to leave it up here on screen for a little while. Alright. Some believe that Trice's costume and mannerism may be inspired by Deadpool from Marvel. Trice was a smoker. We saw him in Season 3 smoking, but he probably doesn't anymore. In universe, Trice went from a C-rank villain minor threat to an S-rank villain with all the crimes he committed with his clones, just in a few months. I couldn't find any more fun facts about Trice. If you have any, please leave them in the comments. My thoughts and opinions on Trice. I find Trice really funny with his split personalities. Find him very lovable. I feel bad for him. All he wants is a friend. The one villain that isn't even evil, just hurt and betrayed. I like that he's very loyal to his friends, that he really cares for them. I find his costume to be alright. His death still hurts me to this day, and I want to refuse that he's gone. I refuse to believe that he's gone. I don't hate Hawks for taking his life because he was only doing his job. He really wanted to help him get back on his feet. I love the friendship that he has with Toga. I like his powers, but I want to choose the powers myself if I can't control my clone. Alright, let's get this on there. Get that back. Zoom in, zoom out. I don't know what I'm doing. Spinning right there. Here is My Hero Academia 1093 Trice Hot Topic exclusive. If you want your YouTube name on the white cardboards anytime I do review these, let me know in the comments below, and you can choose what color I want. So like here in the background, you can choose what color you want your name to be on the background every time I review these. So here is the Hot Topic exclusive of Trice. Let's get a few around the best. You can see on the back there the many different ones. Let's get a close up right here, and you can see the sticker right there. I'll put on screen a closer up version. Here's Trice himself and the many different characters. I got most of those in the back there. Well, pretty much all of them except for the All Might Teacher. Maybe one day I'll review it. Maybe. No promises. Let's get that there. Alright. Zoom in out there. Let's get this thing spinning out there. I'm trying to record this before it starts raining at the time of this recording. How much does this Funko Pop pops out? In all honesty, there isn't much to this on to make it pop out. He has his battle stance and his measuring tapes out ready to fight with his right eyes. To fight with his right eyes. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. I don't know what I write here sometimes. The color scheme is alright. You have his costume in all black and gray, with gray boots, top of the mask gray, and bottom black with gray outlines running from his chest to his legs. White eyes, and you have red and green wristbands with the white measuring. Is that white measuring tape? Yeah, that's white measuring tape. So I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. Feels like there could be more color to it. The character design is decent enough. A latex suit with boots and a mask with a measuring tape. There's not much to it. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. There's not much to the mold, just the measuring tape, so it's a 1 out of 5. There's no glow, so how much I like this character is a 5 out of 5. The final score is a 13 out of 25. I am hesitating so much. I don't know what I'm saying half the time. You're gonna deal with it, and I don't feel like we're recording. So let's get a closer up right there. That's about right there. You got everything right there. You got the mask right there, measuring tape, body stance, with the wristbands, nothing on the back. I'm not looking at anything. And you got the his ears popping out there. I've been on the back, on the bottom. No, I don't see his. Oh crap! I'm so sorry. Don't hate me. his copyright stance on where it's made, and I'm dropping things all over the place. You're gonna see his foot for the rest of this clip. Yeah, right there you can see right there under below his head. You can see the manufacturing date or where it's made. Let's put it back on the thing. Right there. What's up right there? I've been dropping this thing all over the place. Don't hate me. Joking. Here is the Hot Topic Chase version. I don't have the Hot Topic exclusive, but this is definitely a Hot Topic version. I haven't zoomed in too much. Here's the Chase version, Hot Topic exclusive. Right there. Mine is a Funko special edition, but I promise you it is a Hot Topic exclusive. So the box design is different. You got the close up on the face, but then the design is different. You got the mask all turned off. Right there. Alright, I'm gonna take it out of the box and show you all here in a second. Let's get one more roundabout right there. Let's get like a zoom in right there on his eye. I'm just messing around. Recording right now. This one pops out a bit more with the mask half damaged, hair poking out, and the scar showing. So I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Color is just the same with his blonde hair and pale face, so it's a 3 out of 5. Design is better with the scar show and torn mask, so 3 out of 5. The mold is much better with the hair and the ripped mask, so 4 out of 5. And the same thing, 5 out of 5 with the character likeness. So no glow with this one. Final score is a 19 out of 25. Dude, and let me just much more close up right there. You can see everything poking out. You got the whole half mask damaged, his eye poking out, his scar showing. Dude, let's get a closer look at there. I don't want to get back right there. Let's get much more detail going on right there. You can see his scar right there in the eyes. I believe that's I believe that's part of his eye damage right there. I can't see it right there, the scar. And you can see the mold around this torn off mask and hair showing off. Got his ear out there showing off the mask, the mold. Let's get like a little close up on the camera part. I'm trying to make sure this doesn't fall out of my hand like the last one. Right there. Put that down back right there. And I believe I didn't show off. Gosh. Bring the box back just to show off the sticker of the Chase and special edition. If I didn't show it off in the last clip. I wonder if I can just put both of these in the same part right there. He duplicated himself. Both versions out there. I wonder which one's the real one. Let me try this project. I'm having too much fun with this. The Chase Pop is based off the moment when Trice was fighting Hawks. When Hawks used fierce rings with fast speed, tearing Trice's mask off. Or it could be based off the moment in Season 4 when Sir Night-Eye throws his stamped weapons, tearing the mask after fighting a fake overall lackey. So it's one of these two moments. I don't know when the pop came out, but it's definitely one of these. If you are planning on buying these pops, I can't promise if any local retail shop, toy shop, or Hot Topic will have any of these in stock. On Amazon, twice $10.93 for the normal version. There are many different options for prices, around $25 to $30. So I say don't get it on Amazon. And there's no Chase available options on Amazon at the time of this recording and video. For eBay, many sellers sell it for $10 to $25 for the normal version, and for the Chase version, many sellers are selling around for $40 to $60. Don't get any of these pops confused for the signed version by the voice actor. And some sellers sell both versions in a bundle for around $80. My final thoughts on these pops. I really like the Chase version a lot with the details. The normal one looks cool enough, but it doesn't stand out that much. But it's a fun pop. One thing I want to do is have about 20 pops in the normal version of Trice to make a joke about the pops clone themselves. And yes, I do have the room for them. Sorry if my point system is a little too harsh. I just want to be honest with these pops, but I still love them. I want to try to be sponsored by Funko or any company associated with them, so I'll keep uploading on my own terms. What are your thoughts on these pops? Tell me down in the comments below. You can leave a suggestion for a pop for me to review next, if I have it. If you like these types of videos, subscribe for more videos like this. Leave a like, and that's all I have for this video. I'll see you next time. Gene Bubai Garara. Bubai Garara. Gene Bubai Garara. Garara. Bubai Garara. How does anyone even pronounce his name right? Gene Bubai Garara. I think only name like a couple people can actually name his name right. Bubai Garara. Gene Bubai Garara. That's the real name of Trice. Gene Bubai, Gene Bubai Garara, Gene Bubai Garara, Gene Bubai Garara, Gene Bubai Garara. Come on, Gene Bubai Garara, Bubai Garara, Bubai Garara, Bubai Garara. Yeah, this is gonna be like a blooper right here. I suck. Gene Bubai Garara. I'll tell you, some of these last names are very hard to pronounce. Bubai Garara. 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 Gene's abilities. His quirk is called Double. He's able to make, yeah, he's able to make. Sorry. He's able to make. Yep, I'm gonna cut that right off here. I don't know. I'm the one that writes these scripts, and I read too fast. Yeah, that's all me. He's gonna make. He's a maker.